So I had this dream where I was at a summer camp. I was working there as a counselor, and there were a bunch of kids, and I was put in charge of 3 of them. One was a little girl, and the other 2 were 2 teenage twin centaur brothers. The next thing I know, these guys with guns show up to the camp, and it turns out they were terrorists or something of the sort. And we evacuate the whole camp, get all the kids out of there. But unfortunately, they happened to kidnap the 3 kids that I was put in charge of. So a couple of the other counselors and I, sneaked back into the camp. And by the way, I was carrying a carton of ice cream at this time for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why. But anyway, we sneaked up to the cabin they were being held hostage in, and sneak in through the 2nd floor window. And the kids were right there. So I was just like, hey, let's get out of here. And so we did. We snuck out the window and headed back to the rest of the group. And then on the way back, I realized I'd forgotten my carton of ice cream. So, obviously I went back for it and, just went back through the window and grabbed it and, got my ice cream and got out of there. And met up with everyone, and then I woke up.
So I was having a very dark zombie dream. In this dream, the sun was non-existent for some reason, and so it was always dark out. I had to board up my house like I was playing Nazi zombies, and there are several large windows in my house, which caused a lot of anxiety because boarding them up in the dream was just a really big deal for some reason. At some point in the dream, I'm in my bedroom, and of course it's still dark, and all of a sudden, out of nothing, an alien appears in front of my door. And I was not having it in the dream. I told off the alien that it was just plainly ruining the dream, and overall it wasn't fitting the genre. After scolding the alien, it promptly disappeared, and I resumed my zombie dream. And of course, I eventually ended up dying.
So I had this dream where some of my friends and I were in this really hilly area with a lot of snow, and we were sledding up and down these huge hills in Santa's sleigh. And Santa wasn't there, it was just a sleigh. I don't know why he wasn't there, but he wasn't. And we were going pretty fast, and we crashed into this huge rock and died. All of us died. There wasn't one survivor. Then we all woke up in what seemed like an animal shelter, and a man came in and told us, we're all iguanas now, we're being put up for adoption. Oh, and turns out that man was Dwight Schrute. And that was the end. I don't know what that dream was. It was so weird. It was so odd.